Hello, friends. My name is Laura Rezac, and I'm the Associate Rector at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina. And today I am delighted to be with you to pray Psalm 77. So if you have a Bible or Book of Common Prayer, please open to Psalm 77, and you can follow along quietly while I give voice to the words. Psalm 77. I will cry aloud to God. I will cry aloud, and he will hear me. In the day of my trouble, I sought out the Lord. My hands were stretched out by night and did not tire. I refused to be comforted. I think of God. I am restless. I ponder, and my spirit faints. You will not let my eyelids close. I am troubled, and I cannot speak. I consider the days of old. I remember the years long past. I commune with my heart in the night. I ponder and search my mind. Will the Lord cast me off forever? Will he no more show his favor? Has his loving kindness come to an end forever? Has his promise failed forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in his anger withheld his compassion? And I said, my grief is this: the right hand of the Most High has lost its power. I will remember the works of the Lord and call to mind your wonders of old time. I will meditate on all your acts and ponder your mighty deeds. Your way, O God, is holy. Who is so great a God as our God? You are the God who works wonders and have declared your power among the peoples. By your strength you have redeemed your people, the children of Jacob and Joseph. The waters saw you, O God, the waters saw you and trembled. The very depths were shaken. The clouds poured out water. The skies thundered. Your arrows flashed to and fro. The sound of your thunder was in the whirlwind. Your lightnings lit up the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea, and your paths in the great waters, yet your footsteps were not seen. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Psalm 77. What I love about this psalm is that someone in ancient Israel wrote this, a community sang it, and the emotions that it's describing, the feelings that they're talking about, it's so familiar, isn't it? Who among us hasn't communed with their heart in the night? Who among us hasn't been troubled and had difficulty speaking, difficulty praying? Who among us has wondered at one time or another if God has abandoned us? I read this and I think, humans are not so different now with all of our technological advances and all of our achievements and all of our science. It's the same human experience. There are never any easy answers to the problem of suffering. This essential question of why do good people suffer? Why did God allow pain into the world? Theologians have complicated and fancy answers that might satisfy intellectually at one time or another, but at least personally, I've never found them helpful in those moments when I really am confronted with my own suffering or the suffering of someone I care about. Intellectual answers don't really satisfy when you are communing with your heart in the night. So what I love about this is that the psalmist says, in the midst of their trouble, in the midst of their grief, they will meditate on God's mighty deeds. And they call to mind, for this community, the community of ancient Israel, Exodus was really the formative story for that people. And so they meditate on the miracle of the deliverance of a people from slavery by the hand of a God who was not seen, but who led through people, through Moses and Aaron, who cared for the people like a shepherd cares for the sheep, who was present in the midst of the storm and delivered the people through it. And I think that remembering these stories, remembering how God's providence has been there for us, both as a people of faith in Scripture and also in our own community, in our own families, in our own lives, that to me might be the answer for what to do when we are communing with our heart in the night. To remember, despite the present trouble, everything that God has done for us. Be well, stay safe, wear your mask, and I'll see you soon.